TongFu's turn to ban.
Game 1, DK took control and never looked back. Rode the wing and back of Weaver. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure Burning was wearing the Weaver Wings cosmetic set. Nonetheless, Burning leading the way in Game 1. A pretty dominant performance. TongFu, though, in Game 2, showed us some creative picks that really just kind of panned out. We got to see Bloodseeker. Don't think it was quite as crazy as many people hoped, myself included. But we did see just how useful he can be in shutting down that Weaver pick between Rupture and the Thirst, of course. But now, moving ahead to Game 3, DK pushed to the limit. They already lost one series tonight. They're at 1-1 in the overall standings and do not want to dip into losers territory. TongFu, though, looking to extend their run. They've played just about as many matches here in the early phases of the Eastern Division of HyperX D2L as any team has, and already in pretty good position to make a run through the playoffs and perhaps to that #1 seed and direct positioning at Las Vegas coming up in January. We'll find out if they're up to the task as they again take on DK. Game 3, going the distance here on our final day of our second weekend of the D2L Season 4 HyperX Eastern Division. I'm your host, Aaron A.C. Chambers, joined by Merlini. And Merlini, my friend, we're starting to see some faces become more and more familiar. Luna, again, going to be picked. This time going to be run by DK, though. Visage manages to make it into the pool. Yet another Bad Rider pick on the map. And Crystal Maiden is slowly but surely, at least in the last day or two, beginning to look a lot like a Tier 1 support. She's coming out awfully often.
Yeah, I'm surprised that CM was just... I mean, she didn't actually get buffed that much in the last patch. Just some minor stuff with Freezing Field, but Freezing Field is not the strong part about her. I guess it's just a lot of the other supports getting nerfed in the process. And Lich being one of the few that's also buffed too, but he's been banned every time. Visage got nerfed. Which other one? Nyx also got nerfed too. So people are forced to experiment with a lot of the other ones that were previously unused.
Another big hero that got arguably a pretty big buff, and I would say that based on what we've seen tonight, Venomancer showing that he certainly has a place in competitive play. And tell you the truth, this is, every patch that comes and goes, I really do feel like we're making progress to that ideal equilibrium where there's not a single hero that you can't point to and go, he has a very good purpose and he can serve a really nice role in any team composition. Like, obviously you don't want them to all feel the same, but you want every hero to be a pick and counter pick to something. Every hero to be good at something and best at something. And we're beginning to see that come to pass. Crystal Maiden, one of the best levels 1 through 5 heroes. We've even seen some creative builds on her in terms of pure spam compositions where you just want to get out, fight early, rely on low cooldown abilities. We saw, I can't remember who it was, might have been TongFu though, that built Crystal Maiden in a 1-1-3, just maxing the aura ahead of Frostbite and Nova, even more so than anything else, just to make sure that heroes like Visage, for example, could just continue to spam and never run out of mana. So a lot of flexibility there. And DK, with a pretty solid lineup, nice carry potential out of Luna at all phases of the game, very strong early laning and very strong gank potential and roaming out of Crystal Maiden. And, of course, Chen, who does what he does. He pushes lanes, he moves around under cover of smoke, and he can win you the laning phase with a couple of well-timed ganks.
Mm-hmm. And Chen still hit or miss. I think Lanham is a player. Lanham's clockwork was not very impressive, though. I think he was the strongest solo mid, or he was a very strong solo mid when he was on Rattlesnake, but as he's transitioned into DK, I think his role should be a support. I think he played a fantastic Lion, I believe, last week, and if he had hit hook shots, they would have had much more success in that game. But I think he missed like 3 in a row in that really crucial 15 to 25 minute phase of the game. So I hope he has more success on Chen. TongFu just going with a very stable pre 6.79 lineup. Visage, Bat Rider, Dragon Knight, Lifestealer, and Bat Rider in the hands of Boo was still pretty devastating. So I don't think that hero is going to be out of this season.
Not at all. We are seeing him slip through, though, in favor of banning out heroes like Lich, who we've seen picked and banned every game for the last 4 games, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 5. Starting to see heroes like Night Stalker making in as bans. Earthshaker banned out by DK, and very much a respect ban to San Sheng there. San Sheng has been absolutely rocking the world with his Earthshaker play in both a figurative and literal sense. And, just taking that away from him. No Clockwork either. Shadow Demon banned out. Really anxious to see how TongFu is going to complete their lineup. I mean, you figure you're going to have DK setting up shop in mid, then maybe the bat in the off lane with the Lifestealer and Visage +1, or do you end up running a 2-1-2, that kind of a laning phase that we've been seeing experimented with, and even in games that haven't started that way, they've kind of devolved to that as the laning phase begins to break down a little bit. So we are definitely seeing 6.79 have a major effect at how these teams play against each other and how they decide to draft their lineups based on lane composition.
Yeah, certainly believe so. And Naga also keeps falling off further and further. And yeah, the fifth pick for TongFu, I think, just needs to be a support. DK seems to think that too with the Shadow Demon ban. I'm actually surprised that they banned out Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's cool now and then, but he really excels against single target disables, such as Lasso, such as Roar, such as Potom Arrow. And when they don't really have, well, maybe with the Shadow Shaman, that's what they were going for with this single target disable. So I guess it's a decent ban then.
Seeing the Shadow Shaman pick up, DK's lineup could have gone either way.
Push threat.
Absolutely.
It's a semi-push threat.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Could have gone either way. But this kind of just tells you that they're looking to just shove lanes and bring down towers. Luna with Lunar Blessing to give the bonus damage on top of a glaive bounce and so on, depending on how she wants to fight it. Crystal Maiden, a tough hero to engage into because of the potency of her early spells, especially if she gets Freezing Field. Chen, very much that guns forward kind of a hero. Darkseer, very nice initiation and counter initiation. But Shadow Shaman going to serve a couple of purposes as well, with the buff to his wards, the fact there's more of them, and the fact that it's much easier to trap heroes with it now. That could be a little bit of a confounding factor for heroes like Dragon Knight and Lifestealer if Shadow Shaman can get in the proper position.
Lifestealer is like usually really good at bursting down Shadow Shaman, though. You just rage and open wounds and he's usually dead. But they have a decent amount of support for him too. Darkseer can surge him away. Chen can drop his ultimate and heal and send him back, and Luna can just right click away. And Lifestealer just hasn't been the force that he was before. I mean, he's good situationally too, which is the good thing. I don't like to see Lifestealer just pick up every single game, phase drums, kill people, and now he's like, well, you really have to think twice about picking him. You really have to ban out Razor, ban out Naga Siren too when trying to use him.
Yeah, the LS, as you mentioned, has fallen off. I like him a lot in dual core lineups like this, I really think. And I remember back in the late stages of last year, in the heyday of the Armlet Spirit Bear and such, the most devastating lineups you would see would be Lifestealer plus a Lone Druid. He just really benefits from being paired with some other hero that can take a little bit of pressure off of him, and Dragon Knight could definitely fit into that. They're going to go ahead and grab a Venomancer up for their last support. I really like that. Venomancer, a hero that can do okay in terms of anti-push. It's not that he melts down the creep waves, but being able to drop his Plague Wards gives you vision, keeps you from being engaged upon. Not that DK has the most range in the world, to be honest. That's probably the weakness they do have here. They don't really have that excellent initiator like a Puck, like a Clockwork, so on and so forth, that lets them zone TongFu out from under their own tower. And in fact, TongFu with the counter initiation potential of Gale, of Poison Nova with Bad Rider's Lasso to rely upon, and so on and so forth. This is going to be a tight game, I think. DK has a strong draft, but I feel like TongFu's, in terms of pure damage output between the LS and the Dragon Knight, this is going to be a game where Luna has to be very, very careful about her positioning, and they really cannot afford to have Burning fall behind.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Burning has fallen behind in quite a few of these games, and they just can't afford to drop another game. They can't afford to let Burning just get out-carried. And, I mean, a lot of that has to do with his team, too. It's not just Burning himself playing for it. I don't really think he's been playing that poorly at all, to be honest. It's just, I don't know. I don't exactly know why he's been just falling so far behind either, though. It's very hard to pinpoint.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, in most of the early game phases, you see Burning, and yeah, this is looking to be a sort of a 2-1-2. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, you watch him, and it seems like he's always off farming and doing what Burning does, and somehow he's just not keeping up. And a lot of it has to do with, I think, his movement into team fights is not maybe as good as he would like it to be. He's getting there too late to get kills and too soon, or leaving too soon in cases, so he's wasting some time and so on and so forth. But definitely needs to line it out, because we have definitely seen DK drop more than a couple of games just based on Burning finding himself 15 to 20% behind the farm rate of the enemy carry.
And introducing the lineups?
Yeah, we can do that. TongFu, going to have Zoe farming up our Lifestealer. Bad Rider going to be handled by XTT. Venomancer going to be played by San Sheng. Not on the Shaker this time. I'm sure he's sad-faced about that, but the little Snake Man has been looking pretty damn good in 6-7-9 so far. As the SMJ playing on the Visage with DK, handled in mid by Moo on the other side of the river. Mushi's actually going to be bringing back the mid Shadow Shaman. This makes me so happy. We haven't seen this in so long. Back in the day when I first started casting Dota, I remember when mid Shadow Shaman was like first pick status, and now we get to see it again. Oh, I'm so happy. Jin going to be handled by Lanham, setting up shop in the jungle with Ice handling the Darkseer up in top lane. Burning's going to be joined by MMY. He on Luna and MMY on the Crystal Maiden down here in this off lane. So both teams continuing to experiment with how they plan out their laning phase. I really like this. An early smoke already by Songqing and ZSMJ.
Yep, I mean, Mushi is just so weak. If you leave Mushi alone, though, in this lane, he can just... he actually didn't pick up level 1 Shackle. I think level 1 Shackle is almost always better than level 1 Ether Shock. It does do a lot of damage, though. 140 at level 1 is quite a lot for a nuke, but he's also playing very smart. Look at his position. He's, like, as far south as he can be while still getting last hits. If you leave Shadow Shaman on lane, though, and just let him get level 6, if Moob rotates, the tower's dead. It's as simple as that. So... like, if you think DK pushes fast in that lane, like, Shadow Shaman is just incredible.
And Mushi bailed out by a chin creep. The Ursa creep from Lanham spotted out what was coming, and Mushi able to benefit from that, and doing all right in last hit. Sitting at 3 already. Granted, it's very, very early, but this just makes me so happy. It's such a throwback. I can just remember when mid Shadow Shaman was just like, you know, it was your jam, man. It was just what so many teams relied upon.
Oh, Mood.
Yep.
It's lassoed. Is he going to die?
He gets caught with a shackle. Breathe fire, buys some time. Is he actually going to... There it is! The strength of mid Shadow Shaman showing itself. The shackle plus the Ether Shock enough to give Mushi a big leg up.
Yeah, you can tell that he's played this matchup, or he's played Rasta before. He knows that at Melee, that's the thing about this matchup. Melee heroes can't stick around for the last hit and deny, and they usually miss out on one last hit or deny a wave just because if they stick around too long, you get Shackle, you tank too many creeps, you're going to die. ZSMJ, though, he has level 1 soul assumption. They can't actually catch up to him.
Oh, that's a shame. Couldn't get close enough for a Dragon Tail. The movement speed, 285 to 290. He can track him down in theory, and Mushi on the wrong side of the river is going to go ahead and eat a tree and die. Okay. They wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, the thing about Shadow Shaman, he is really slow, though. 285 move speed.
Yep.
Dragon Knight's actually pretty slow, too. 290, so I guess eventually they would catch up, but he wasn't in any imminent danger. I'm actually surprised that Visage picked up level 1 Soul Assumption. That's the thing about skilling up, though. Sometimes you need Grave Chill, sometimes you need Soul Assumption, so usually you just wait until you actually fight until you skill up.
Very much agreed. And that was kind of a bizarre death to me. I mean, he could have cut through that mid lane and just tried the loop to safety. I mean, he ended up actually just wasting regen. He ate a tango and died. But nonetheless, 1-1 first blood did end up going to DK, and does show us that once again it will be the Luna on top in terms of CS. He's at 16. The Darkseer doing quite a good job. Ice up to 17 as well. And in mid, the Dragon Knight, played by Moose, sitting at 12, but Shadow Shaman holding his own, sitting at 10.
Yep. And the thing is, like, the supports on the side of DK can just... they're really just free to do whatever he wants. Like, Lanham can just creep as much as he wants. Already sitting at level 3, so he's being pretty efficient with his jungling. And meanwhile, they had to, like, rotate a few supports. So he was smoking mid on Mushi as well as the actual kill on Mushi with the Visage, too. So ZSMJ is falling a little bit behind in terms of levels. He is trying to pull right now on bottom.
DK going to send Lanham and MMY under cover of smoke, going to look to find something to make happen. DK going to be shackled out. This should be a death. MMY there with Frostbite as well as Nova. TP coming in, not even needed. Test of faith enough to secure the kill for Lanham. Certainly a nice infusion of golden experience for him. And right now, DK is just showing off how strong a Shadow Shaman can be in a one-on-one against the melee. They're just making it look pretty easy.
Yeah, we haven't even actually seen the wards yet, too, which is why I'm surprised that teams haven't experimented with them a little bit more. Wow, the haste pickup looks like this will be a kill on XTT. Unless they actually... oh, they didn't actually get the Frostbite. MMI, where were you with the Frostbite, bro? If he Frostbitten, they could have followed up with a Stomp, too. So, a little bit unfortunate for them. Mushi may have went a little bit too early since he had the haste, but they had him Observer Ward up here. I'm actually surprised that the Batrider got caught out there. But yeah, we haven't seen the use of wards yet right now, so it's like... Shadow Shaman is strong prior to 6, and his wards are like pretty strong as is. Darkseer actually gets a kill on bottom. I don't exactly know how that happened.
I was watching it. Basically, the Visage got way too far out. Ice put an eye on Shell on himself. He has boots. Visage does not. So he just kind of chased him around until he died. He threw out a Grave Chill, but he surged to pursue him through the Grave Chill and dove him all the way to his own tower. Now here come the new Rost wards. Like that formation. And this tower taking a lot of damage. And you see that little gap in the middle, specifically designed to make it easier to ward trap people. And, yeah, this is just what a Rasta is going to give you. Mushi taking a lot of unnecessary tower damage. So he's going to get breathe fired if he's not real careful. Finally, okay, he is going to go ahead and bottle up and head out.
Yeah, it forces heroes to rotate mid. Like, I can understand why he wants to tank the tower, though. He wants to tank it so his war zone dies, so it's not that bad. And Ice is just a phenomenal offlane player because there's not often situations where people will get kills in a 1-on-3 scenario. He's actually getting another kill on Sansheng, and, like, only really good offlane players will be able to make something out of nothing. Usually, like, it's like, okay, 3-on-1, nothing's going to happen. Ice is just going to get zoned out and harassed, but not this Darkseer.
DK putting pressure on this top tier 1. Zoe's there along with ZSMJ. Zoe has not been having a fun time in the jungle, sitting at 17 CS right now. And yeah, right now this tower should end up dead. There's no doubt about it. They're going to be able to rotate mid and take this down in short order as well. It's just outside of deny range at 345. But Rasta's going to have his wards back up momentarily. Only 30 seconds left on that cooldown.
Yeah, DK is just putting so much pressure out on the towers right now. Top is being pressured by Chen, mid is being pressured by previously Rasta and now Darkseer, and bottom was under pressure by Darkseer too. They're doing a very good job making TongFu run around, not be able to farm, try and force Batrider to fight too. He still does not have his Blink Dagger, 1200 gold to his name, no bottle in his inventory yet either. And DK, I mean, this is the strength of their lineup, and I think they're executing it very, very well. They have a lot of mana with Crystal Maiden with their level 1 Arcane Aura. They have Arcane Boost on the Chen too. Now is the time to make things happen. Level 4 Chen, level 4 Crystal Maiden. They don't need level 6.
And they're going to go ahead and push. Rasta will have his wards up. He's got them available. Don't think he wants to spend them now. If they could take this tower down without spending the wards, they're going to be in great shape. They're going to look for a fight. And Wall has already been skilled. There's going to be the stun. The wall goes down. Here comes Zoe. And Moo going to end up blown up. Ice hits the trouble. There go the wards, though. Zoe's going to infest into XTT while Sansheng forced to retreat. Soul Assumption not enough from ZSMJ to bring down Lanham. So they get the tower. They end up trading the DS for the DK. I think that's a trade they're going to be happy about. XTT's not done yet, though. Well, maybe he is. Looked like he wanted to pursue, and the Lifestealer comes back out. So Zoe still having quite a slow start, sitting at just 26 CS in comparison to the tops on the board, which are Luna and Darkseer at 35 and 41 apiece. But the push is going to continue, and DK is just able to completely set the pace of this game. TongFu is in total reactionary mode now.
And Zoe able to farm up some wards. Ooh, he's taking a lot of damage. He's getting fairly close to dying. Can't be that risky. XCT, meanwhile, still farming up his Blink Dagger, 1,500 gold, but DK is not going to relent on the pressure. Another push on bottom, man. Everyone's in, like, pretty decent fighting condition. Mushi and Lanham missing a little bit of their HP bar. Ward up in 200 gold. I like this build from Shadow Stone, just a casual point booster. Yep. He doesn't really need fate. He doesn't need boost speed. They're just together as 5. He just needs to be able to survive, just burst, have enough mana to drop all his spells too. Rasta's spells are very, very expensive. Point booster is one of the most cost-efficient items for a single slot for the health and mana that it gives.
Yeah, Mushi's sent back home. And like you said, I totally agree with you. Just a casual point booster. And if he wants to go with a Scepter, he can. If he gets ahead enough to that point, if not, no big deal. He's coming out of that mid position, so he justifies a little bit of farm, at least early on. And in great shape. The mechanism slowly being put together by Lanham. That'll be a very important item for them with this kind of a composition. I like Ice's choice to go ahead and take that first point into wall as well. We're seeing more Darkseers do that more often, just in anticipation of early aggression. And level 1 wall, not as good as they would most Darkseers would certainly like. But at the same time, it can have its uses, especially in a pushing lineup like this where you can use it as a form of counter initiation. Ice
is actually going for a hood, too. Oh, Zoe.
Oh. There's the war trap. Very quick fingers. Yep. That's the buff. And he's going to be able to finally make it out. There's the net, though, and they didn't even need it. Ether Shock would have got him one way or the other. Mushi showing off the Shadow Shaman. Get ready, pub players. Mid-Shadow Shaman's incoming.
Yep. I think it's really, really strong, too. And Lanham, almost level 6, MMY, almost level 6 too, so I think they're probably hurting in terms of XP. They're still actually ahead of TongFu, but once Batrider gets Blink, it's going to be a pretty different ball game for them. And nope, speaking of Blink's already up. Ice getting caught out now. He does have the Surge.
Yep, Surge, just such a get-out-of-jail-free card. He got hit with everything.
Oh, XCT, though, coming from behind.
And looking for someone. DK's all pulled back. XCT unable to find a target as DK just really watching their positioning. They're going to put together the Lifestealer bomb. They're actually going to send him out to try and go get burning. And there's the Blink Dagger and the Infest out. Eclipse is there. XDT's going to be traded away. Burning uses his drum charge and his wand. They can't catch him. Phase boots on Burning. It's going to be close. He's got a TP scroll, just going to try to make it away from the damage, and he will.
Wow.
Huge mistake coming out from TongFu. And Burning able to just use the wand charges, just enough health to get him back where he needs to be. No way they can hold this bottom tier 1 after that. So DK not only gets a free kill, they get a free tower.
I really like the drums build there too. Drums and Magic Wand, you need HP to survive. If you can survive during your Eclipse, then you can potentially get a kill off it. And we saw it right there. And they're not being greedy with their builds too. They're just investing all their game in early game items, casual point booster from Mushi, etc., not going for early blink. I also thought, like in that particular case, you don't actually rage on Lifestealer there. You split the damage half and half. Luna's not level 11 yet, so there's only 4 Lucent Beams coming out, so you just don't rage. It will most likely split 2 and 2. That's the most common scenario. Sometimes if you're really unlucky, it will split like 4-0 on Batrider, and if it splits 4-0 on Lifestealer, then you just rage and then let Batrider tank the rest. So you can't just use rage all the time when you need to burst people down. You have to think about it sometimes.
DK gonna double back, maybe towards the Roche pit. Yeah, Roche is out, and they may be in the mood. Yep, they're going to drop the wards. And Crystal Maiden actually just picked up a medallion as well. So this Roche should drop very quickly. And to be honest, TongFu in no position, be it geographically or in terms of where they are in the game, to really challenge this. The top 4 in net worth all belong to DK right now. And yeah, whenever you're talking a 10,000 gold lead at 12 minutes, it's a pretty big deal. In fact, with the death of Roshan right there, by the time this updates, that might well make it 1,000 gold per minute lead that they've generated. Very, very close to it at 12 minutes in. So you're talking in excess of 750 gold per minute lead that DK has managed to put together from the moment the horn blew.
And MMY, very smart medallion pickup. I like the way that they're playing this out, though. If you notice, Mushi's already used his wards 3 times. Once in mid to after that T1 push, once over here to kill Lifestealer, and once at Roshan. So it's like around 2 minutes cooldown. So we're talking about like 6 minutes since he's had wards. He pretty much uses his wards almost every time is off cooldown just to keep the pressure up. I see a lot of like Shadow Shaman players and their teams, they just use it like very, very rarely, but you just have to use that constantly to apply pressure. Take down a tower, take down a Roche, get a kill on a very high priority target like Lifestealer, and just make things happen every time it's up. And now Shadow Shaman has his blink even after the casual point booster. He doesn't have a TP scroll. He doesn't necessarily need it though either, just because Chen has been sending him back constantly so he can be very efficient with his time around the map.
I absolutely love this build Mushi is showing us. It's such a throwback, again, going back to like 2012. A very early 2012, hell, 2011, so on and so forth. But back in the days of the mid Shadow Shaman, then you used to see this kind of build all the time. Get up something like a point booster, a vid booster, something like that. Blink Dagger, and then occasionally you would see something like a Naked Ogre Club come out instead of the point booster. Then you can go BKB or try to go Scepter off of that after your Blink Dagger. I'll tell you what, a Shadow Shaman with a Blink Dagger and a BKB is an absolute gank machine, and it's so hard to shut down if he gets over-leveled. So Mushi definitely giving me the warm fuzzies, man. I've been loving seeing what this patch is bringing out in players and showing us old school stuff as well.
Yep, definitely like that. Sansheng on the Venomancer has been actually very, very useless. And I think that they didn't really anticipate the push strategy, and Venomancer just does not excel at that. He excels at killing heroes and being defensive in ganks. And Visage actually is very weak at pushing too. So I think DK may have just like saw those picks and be like, well, why don't we just push them down? We have a flexible pick with Luna and Chen, and we can just totally use the strength of our lineup, use the early game, take down all their T1s, which they've already done, take down Roshan, and they've gotten so much accomplished in this first 15 minutes of the game. Gold lead close to 11,000.
Burning up, look at that. Pipe done. Immediately on the Darkseer. Having that pipe up against this team, they are so reliant on magic damage. Basically, outside of Lifestealer, right now, DK is not in good shape, has very few items, very much underfarmed. They are relying so much on magic damage.
Oh, they're going to smoke behind our... Oh, this is going to be devastating.
Here we go. Ice, surges himself, spots the SMJ. There's the Ion Shell looking for a vacuum. There's the Scythe device. Here comes XDT. There's the Ward Trap, though, and the net on the XDT. Can't go anywhere. Cleaned up with a Test of Faith. DK chasing him back all the way behind their own tower. Burning leading the way, taking a lot of these tower shots. This will be another free tower, and look at the Ward just cleaning up the creeps as they crest the hill. Mech's there to get them all back into fighting shape. That's 5 seconds down, 20 for the bat. And very well run end around there by DK. Following that, the gold and the experience just utterly out of control, my friend. 15 and a half minutes in, and DK has built a lead they can be proud of at 45 minutes in.
Yeah, that was just a very good heads-up play by DK there, knowing that, well, they're probably not going to go on Luna because they have Aegis, so they're like expecting a full team to just be right here and just coming back around from behind. And Batrider just pretty ineffective too. 0-2-2 on him. We saw him just blink lasso somebody, blink lasso ice, immediately got Hex and Ned at the same time by a Dark Troll Summoner. He ain't going anywhere. And all of the meantime, they have the wards beating on him too. So I like the strategy from DK. I like that, like we're seeing different things besides, just sitting mid until you get level 7 and then just like try and gank now and then. And it really forces teams to draft differently. And TongFu, with their very standard draft, I mean, minus the Venomancer, all the other heroes are very standard, but they're just getting punished so heavily for their picks right now with their lack of AoE, their lack of long distance spells, and lack of AoE.
Ice, caught out. There's the Hex as well, though. Ice will be cleaned up. There's the Hand of God to get him back up and healed. Eclipse doing good damage, though. TongFu just melting in a hail of fire and ice. Zoe trying to make a run for it. And nope, Ether Shock's there. And, oh, wow, actually got a Hex off on XDT as well with that haste rune. Didn't even drop his wards. Could have. Doesn't look like he has any interest in it. Mushi has gone berserk. That's a full 5-man wipe. He sits atop the kill board. 5-1, 4-0 for Burning, 3-2 for Ice. And only one outer tier tower remaining, but that doesn't look... Oh, actually, check that. 2 outer tier towers remaining. I was going to say the one in mid, not going to be the target, but the one in bottom certainly will be. And at this point, really, what can they do? 15,000. They are literally beyond that. They are really, truly holding on to that 1,000 gold per minute advantage generated number and have been for the last 4 or 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, they tried to go all out on Ice, just blowing like every single cooldown they had, and they couldn't even get him. And this is what I'm talking about with the early game items. Look at his items. He had a casual event booster to 250 HP, allowed him to survive, to pop his pipe, and then the mech came, and then the Hand of God came, and then they didn't even need to send him back after that just because they blew everything and they can't kill him, and then he gets his back in wall off. There's really not much else to follow up after that. So DK just doing a very good job of protecting their teams, doing a very good job of executing fights properly. And I mean, this just shows how versatile they are as a team.
3-14, TongFu has barely been able to find the board at all. And at this point, hard to imagine how they're going to get back into it. Roche will be respawning sometime in the next 3 to 6 minutes, give or take.
Wow, Scepter already on Shadow Shaman to 18 minutes, Blink and Scepter. That's just insane farm. Looking at net worth right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Dire heroes, DK heroes on top of the Lifestealer. The only one who's not even that high is Crystal Maiden. She's only 1,000 gold behind the Lifestealer too.
Yep. Right now we have a Lifestealer who's not as farmed as a Chen. Not as farmed as a Chen.
Really? Poor guy.
Yeah, Lanham, and it's not as if Lanham's sitting on Daddy Warbucks money.
Look at Ice. He's just like surging in. He doesn't even care.
No.
He has Vanguard. He has Pipe.
And we're going to see this tower drop. And not a whole lot that can be done about it. TongFu going to try and hold the line, but I like their 2-core lineup. They just really got run over. No other way to put it. And you have to wonder if this heralds the return. You remember the old Shadow Shaman Leshrac lineups run a couple of years ago, where this is just what you did. You just put those 2 heroes together. You can run them you can run them offensively. You can run Shadow Shaman mid with Lesh farming. I remember the farming Lesh you'd occasionally see in mid, and just put together these crazy push lineups. And DK showing, you know what? It's back in style, baby. Looking very, very likely they're going to walk away 2-1 victors here.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like, traditional anti-push heroes don't really fare too well versus Shadow Shaman. Like, Martian Machines doesn't hit wards, neither does Shockwave, neither does Keeper Light Illuminate, and those are, like, the best anti-push. Same with Moonrunner Power Shot. So, like, even had they picked something else besides Venomancer, let's say Akato, who is very good at anti-push, it wouldn't have made that big of a difference, because once he gets his blink, he just blinks behind, drops the wards on Kato's face, and he dies.
Right, exactly. And such an essential item. As we were talking about, hang on, we're actually going to have a gank attempt. MMY 4 staffs away, will be caught with the open wounds. Will there be a reaction? There will. Here comes Ice. And Chen blows the heel. MMY will be cleaned up. And looks like poor Ice the only one who came to the defense of the lovely Riley. But
poor MMY. Well, he gets his 4-staff already, so I mean, Crystal Maiden with the 4-staff, you gotta be pretty happy with yourself.
Crystal Maiden is within 200 gold of the farm of the DK. Just tossing that out there. The 5 position is within 200 gold of their second core.
Yeah, gold lead. Still around, oh wow, 20,000. That is just ugly. Burning. I mean, we talked about him not getting farmed. This game is definitely different. 10,800. He's taking out a triple ancient stack right now. And yep, things are looking pretty grim for TongFu right now. They need to just pick off get ganks off, but DK's been as 5 for like most of the game, like 5 to 20 minutes. They're like as 5. They're as 5 right now, and with Roshan up right now, I just fully expect them to continue to push. The T2 is down on bottom. They can is down in mid too. They can just walk up, drop the wards, and wait for TongFu to come to them.
Roche back up, and DK ready to end this game. That age is going to be picked up by Luna. No surprise there. GPM for Burning, 558 at this stage of the game. As you mentioned, I mean, yeah, it is 20,000 gold. They have maintained for about the last 7 minutes a 1,000 gold per minute lead rate. They have maintained that. It's one thing to hit it after winning 2 or 3 back-to-back fights and having some bad buybacks on the enemy side. Maybe you get 2 towers in a row after. You can occasionally get something to spike like that.
Push coming up, though.
And DK just has never let up. Not looking like they're ready to do so right now.
They have to let Burning go in front, though, or Ice. Either of them get lassoed, I think they win the fight. Those 2 heroes are just really tanky. Ice with how much HP? 1,300 HP. I can't actually click on him. He has 1,300 HP with a Vanguard and a Pipe. We have Burning with Aegis and BKB. They're not in any sort of danger if they get lassoed. There goes the wards. I think he should have dropped them a little bit closer so that it hits the racks if this T3 falls.
Mushi blinks on XTT. Soul Assumption's there, and they will be able to get him. Shackle was right there in time. CSMJ next on the list. He's going to drop. Mushi able to 4-staff away. Poison Nova caught a couple, mostly caught creeps though. Couple of immediate buybacks out of the DK and the Bad Rider. In the meantime, Burning cleaning up the tower. Moose gonna land a Dragon Tail, and here we go. Lasso from XTT grabbing Mushi, but slowed down, frostbitten after a Lucid Beam, and Mushi.
This has to be GG.
Yeah.
They should GG out.
Mushi, yep, there it is. Mushi just dominating in mid on the Shadow Shaman. Had the support, was the man with the plan. Finishes the game 7-1-8. Burning 6-0-7. And DK, after being put to the test by TongFu and forced to the absolute limit, walks away with a win here in that 3-game series. Really a command performance out of DK, showing us a little creativity in their draft and showing us why we should all love this next patch, Merlini.
Their innovation has certainly paid off, and like ending a game 23 minutes, I mean, they could have just ended it in like 25 minutes, probably taking the throne down, but they punished a Bat Rider so hard. XTT's Bat Rider not as good as Moose, but Moose just got punished in mid by Mushi. Mushi dominated the whole entire game, MVP for this particular match. 7-1-8, a 18-minute blink and scepter, just incredible farm up on him.
Truly amazing. 579 GPM. Put that in perspective. By the time all was said and done, his GPM was in the realm of a free farming 6-0 Burning. That's the kind of game he had, even though he was out-leveled by a few points. And unfortunately for TongFu, as good as they looked in Game 2, just unable to maintain that momentum and bring it into Game 3. So DK stays above 500. They improved their record to 2-1. TongFu, though, starting to slide down the standings just a little bit. DK avenging that loss earlier today to Invictus Gaming as well. Thanks so much for being a part of the broadcast, guys. I'm your host, Aaron A.C. Chambers. Looking forward to our next week of matches. We are going to be off as announced and as planned for the next few days. We'll be back on Sunday and Monday of next week, bringing you 3 more matches a day on both of those days. And before we do our sign-off, though, Merlini, my friend, thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. I know everyone, myself included, certainly enjoys all of the knowledge you impart and your analysis and insight. And for those who want to hear more of that, those newer players or maybe the experienced players who just want a little extra depth in their understanding, where can they find more about you?
Thanks, ASC. You can find me at twitch.tv/MerliniDota. I stream usually every day when I'm not casting D2L. Also, I release content regularly on YouTube, youtube.com/MerliniDota. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates, all /MerliniDota.
There you go. Make sure you check him out at Merlini Dota all across the board. You can find me in a variety of places as well. On Twitter, I'm at AC, at AYESEE, and it's actually right there. There you go. You can see that Merlini stuff is right there. Always wanted to do that. I think I tried to do it last season. Really screwed it up. But anyway, find me at AC on Twitter. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/ACTV, and you can find various links on my Twitch page to all of my other media, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Or you can just look up ACTV on those services. Generally, you're going to find me under that name. Merlini, my friend, thank you so much once again for being a part of the broadcast. Any final thoughts as we head out the door? He's done.
I'm just glad to see 6.79. It's just really refreshing to see everything, and innovation has been rewarded. I mean, we've seen some hit or miss stuff. For example, the PA by Zoe, but for the most part, it's a pretty good patch. Lich pickers winning, Shadow Shaman pickers winning too. It's Crystal Maiden too. I mean, I guess Crystal Maiden's not that new, but it's still something different.
Very much agreed. Again, 6.79 making its debut here in the HyperX D2L Season 4. Make sure you check out all the other tournaments that are going on right now as well, as we're all going to be doing. Waiting to see what the pros come up with and just how deep the impact of this patch happens to be. This has been a D2L production in conjunction with HyperX, Evil Geniuses, Monster, Astro, who did I forget? Let's see, Kingston HyperX, Monster, Astro, Razor, that's the one. Yeah, you think that you see this big mouse pad here? Like, you think that might be the clue, but don't worry about it. Love you, Razor. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, we'll be back again next weekend. It'll be on Sunday, kicking off at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3 a.m. if you're in Central Europe, and, of course, 9 a.m. if you happen to be one of our Chinese brothers and sisters. In the meantime, if you missed any of the matches, you want to go back and catch matches from last week that you might have missed, D2L.GG up and running in a big way. The VOD system implemented all the information you could possibly want about the matches, from the picks, the bans, statistics, tracking of popular heroes, you name it, it's on D2L.GG. And for those who were wondering, and very happy about this myself, the games are cut into individual VODs. There's no more of these big, long 3-hour VODs where you got to go through and try to find each individual match. So, again, check out D2L.GG, and you'll also find the D2L on Twitter. With that, pretty sure I've plugged everything and everyone that needs to be plugged. Just, you know what? Head out, enjoy your day, and enjoy some dinner. We'll catch you next week, guys. Once again, I'm AC on behalf of Merlini and Conrad. Enjoy your morning, evening, or afternoon.